Tonight on 8 out of 10 Cats, he's got the X Factor, it's Louis Walsh. Slick Nick, it's Nick Helm. And their team captain, Jon Richardson. And facing them tonight, ready, set, show, it's Joe Brand. From Rizzle Kids, it's Jordan Stevens. And their team captain, Sean Locke. Now, welcome your host, Jimmy Carr.
Hello and welcome to 8 out of 10 Cats Uncut, a show all about opinion polls, surveys and statistics. Did you know, for example, students have to apply for an average of 24 jobs before they find a position? Things are tough out there. I met a guy recently who told me he had a first with honours, an MA and a PhD. I said, that's great, but I asked you for a burger without pickle. 72% of people find spending time with animals relaxing. I like having dogs around, but my girlfriend objects to all the licking of balls and sniffing of bums. She says it upsets the dogs. And 40% of men worry about getting fat. There's a simple test for men. Look down at your stomach. If it's flat, you've got nothing to worry about. If it's sticking out a bit, you might need to go on a diet. And if you can't see your stomach because your boobs are getting in the way, you've got a problem. Right, let's get started. What are you talking about? That's the name of our first round. It's our panellists' job to guess the British public's top 5 most popular talking points. John's team, what do you think the nation will be talking about this week?
I presume people are talking about X Factor.
Of course.
Probably talking about whoever was voted out last week.
Who was voted out last week? Wasn't it Abby last week?
Abby, yeah.
Now, did you think she was any good?
I thought she was okay. Just okay. Kind of boring. I didn't think she should have done the show.
You don't think she should have done
I didn't. I said at the first audition, I don't think you're right for the show.
What do you think she should have done? Just made you a cup of tea and fucked up?
I think she's like a singer... No! I think she's like a singer-songwriter. I just didn't think she was versatile enough.
So who's your star act this year?
Well, I've got 3 left.
You've got 3? That's
I've got
incredible.
3, yeah.
Haven't got Paul Achister left, though, have you, Louis?
No. No, but you know what? No, he's coming down. He's coming back next year.
Talk to me. I've lost all respect for you.
Why?
Because he's good, isn't he?
He's
you
really
told him he had
good.
the best voice
He's
in the
really
thing.
good. I want him to come back next year.
But he was in
my
it
guest.
this year.
He was down with me the weekend.
That's what you say to someone who's late.
He
That's
came
what the
to see
Royal
me the
Mail say.
weekend. I looked after him the weekend. I showed him what he should do next year.
What do you mean you looked after him at the weekend?
He came down to the show and I showed him what really happened. He's a great singer, yeah, great singer.
Well, speaking of great singers, let's have a clip of one of your other performers this year, Sam Callahan. What an amazing voice.
Okay.
How lucky can one guy be? I kissed her and she kissed me. Like a fella once said, ain't that a kick in the head? Tell me quick, ain't that a kick in the
That was amazing. You're like a little Fred Astaire. Now.
No, I'm with you. I agree with you. He is like Fred Astaire. Yeah. Fred Astaire couldn't sing either, could he?
He was an entertainer.
So do you think he can sing? Do you think he's...
Yeah, he's quite good.
Can I ask you a question, Louis? Like, 'cause this genuinely intrigues me. You say he can actually sing.
Yeah.
Why every series of X Factor do you always do this? It's always you who picks the person who's like not actually good at singing, and it's entertaining. No. Just out of interest. Out of pure interest.
But he's still in the competition.
Yeah, he's in the competition. Right. So this is my question to you, though. Right?
It's a popularity contest.
Right. So it's not a singing competition.
It's a popularity. It's a personality. It's everything.
I'll be honest with you. No one has ever taken the X Factor as seriously as you just have. No one.
Jimmy, you know what? There's lots of people in the charts that cannot sing.
Come on, let's name names.
I'm not naming them, but
Come
there's
on,
a
name
lot of
some
them.
names.
No. Britney. There's lots of people in the
Britney is a triumph of auto-tune.
But she's not a great singer, you know?
That's the one guy on tour stars don't upset. They don't upset the auto-tune guy. Yeah. They talk, the rest of the crew, they treat him like scum, but the auto-tune guy, they go, how are you? Did you sleep well? Because he could just go like that, and they just go,
OK, let's treat ourselves to... This is the Bulgarian music idol. This lady is... She's Bulgarian. She's singing in English. There's a lesson here, I think, for all people auditioning for X Factor, that you've got to really know the lyrics to the song.
No one can get to save me. No young clist jo malive. Where I guess Jose batenan lecho mo. New onos tonight, molinai, your soda show. Yes, it's show. Kelly, to live without you. Kelly, made you more.
That is making a song your own.
Yeah, your own language.
What did you think of that professional opinion?
I thought it was really funny.
Oh, you'd definitely put that through, wouldn't you? 100%.
Joe, do you watch X Factor?
I'm afraid I don't watch X Factor, but I do know enough to know. I don't know. There's a very beautiful woman on the panel. I think her name's Nicole Shitsinger.
Nicole.
Shirtsinger.
Scherzinger.
If she wasn't allowed to say, you made that song your own and you nailed it, she would be quiet for an hour. She should do a bit of poetry by Keats or something, just to vary it a bit.
Nick, would you think you've given it a go? You can sing.
I can sing very well. But I've self-produced, right? Got my little album here, right? I've got you one for your wife and kids.
Okay.
So what's your album called?
My album is called Hot and Heavy.
Hot and Heavy?
And it used to be my dream, right, to have a #1 record, right? It used to be my dream, and now my dream is to just sell enough so that I've got enough floor space so I can get to my wardrobe.
All right, let's have a look and see if X Factor is up there. Yes, the X Factor live finals continue. The big news on X Factor is, Louis, this series, you've not had any of your boys in the bottom. It's an incredible achievement. Sean's team. What's the nation been talking about this week?
Right.
What do you think, Joe?
Oh, possibly Miley Cyrus smoking a joint somewhere.
Yes, Miley Cyrus allegedly smoked a joint at the MTV Music Awards. There she is with the herbal cigarette. Is she going swimming straight after that? Jordan, what did you think of it? You're a pop star.
Well, she came out in the news recently and said she's not being exploited. She's actually in complete control of what she's doing, and she's the world's biggest feminist.
Can I just say, I literally am the biggest feminist. So if Miley wants to come and see me, she can.
Would you put a flea in her ear?
I bloody well would. Put a fucking fist in her ear.
What I like about her, is she's kind of getting it slightly wrong. You know, because normally people they're overtly sexual, they try and be really cool.
Yeah, that's what.
And she sort of does it slightly. I think she sort of is making these decisions, because I'm sure the record executives wouldn't be keen on the whole dwarf thing. Like she goes on stage with loads of dwarves, and they probably think that's not actually. It's a bit just weird. It's uncool. I mean, she's literally a whisker away from lighting her own farts. As far as I can tell. She's just going to do. She'll be blowing snot balloons next, and then going like that. I think she sort of is in charge of what she's doing, and
she hasn't
she's got
quite
a bit
nailed
mad.
what sexy is.
I think the problem with Miley Cyrus is that because she was a Disney child, it's so much more tragic, everyone thinks, that Disney gone bad, you know, like Britney Spears. And it's sort of like Dumbo shagging Bambi or something, you know? It's like Disney gone nightmare.
You put that in my head. You just ruined my childhood.
I watched the footage of her at the EMAs and I was shocked because how, in the name of sweet bell peppers, she's won an award for music.
Yes.
Why is no one talking about that? The award winners at that thing were Justin Bieber, her, and One Direction. Why is nobody reporting the fact that music is dead?
Let's have a look and see if Miley is up there. Yes, Miley Cyrus caused controversy allegedly smoking marijuana on stage at the MTV Music Awards, although I saw the footage of Miley and I think I could see a better crack. OK, John Steve, what else have the nation been talking about?
The Star Wars open auditions in Bristol.
This is huge news, isn't it? Brilliant.
It's funny that they queued up for about 8 hours in the freezing rain.
Over 4,000 people turned up to the auditions in Bristol and about 1,500 were turned away without even being seen.
Without even being seen, that's harsh, isn't it? Just...
Louis, you do these open auditions. How quickly do you know? Like, when you're auditioning people, how quickly do you know, well, they're clearly not going to get it? How long do you give them?
Well, we see a few hundred people a day. I mean, we let them sing maybe one song. If they're good, you know. If they're really bad, we might get 2 songs.
Jordan, have you ever auditioned? Have you gone up for an audition?
Actually, yeah, I got to the last 5 to be Will Smith's son when I was, like, 9.
I tell you who got the part, his son.
I went for that thing for Will Smith's son as well. I got down to the last 2.
She's a very versatile actress.
I didn't need to go to the auditions because I've already got a part in the new Star Wars film.
Have you?
Yeah, I've already been cast. I play the postman on the Death Star. Insufferably cheery postman, walking around the Death Star going... May the parcel force be with you. I always think the thing about Darth Vader, I've never understood about Darth Vader, is why hasn't he got rickets?
Tell me more.
That costume on all the time, his skin would never ever see any sunlight. So really, he should have rickets. He should, instead of walking around like this, magisterially like this, he should walk around like this. Don't worry, I'm not coming in.
It's difficult to know how they could have made Darth Vader any scarier. That walk is it.
The thing is, the new trilogy has got to be really good, because the first trilogy was really good, and then the prequel trilogy was awful, and it undid all of the good work of the original trilogy, and then the third trilogy has got to be not just good, but even better to make up for the prequel trilogy. And it's a bit like going out on a date, and it's great, and, you know, you go to Pizza Express and up the London Eye, and that's brilliant. And on the second date, you know, you've been waited in the rain for 2.5 hours, right? And she shows up with a friend for protection, right? And at the end of the night, you're both crying and there's shit in the bed, right? And so on the third date, you know, you're gonna need scented candles, right? And fucking foot rubs, Carol, right? Because you will not walk all over me. You will not do that again.
But listen, what they've done now is they've said that because so many people turn up to these open auditions, they're going to allow people to audition on video, and you can just send in your audition tape. John, Sean, do you want to...?
Yeah, I'll do it, yeah.
Yeah, OK, fine.
Well, I don't need to, I've already got a part, but...
Well, what, you've been...
I'm such a versatile actor,
if I give you that
see me...
If I give Sean that one, you could be Vader, you could be Luke. Just
right.
Classic lines. You just got to embody the role.
OK.
All right. Action.
If only you knew the power of the dark side. Obi-Wan never told you what happened to your father.
He told me enough. He told me you killed him.
The second no's not in the script, but I'm... I'm your father!
Chuffing hell, that's never it. That is in the script. No, that's not true. That's impossible.
Search your feelings. You know it to be true.
No.
Scene. It's, wow. It was... Well, let's have a look and see if Star Wars auditions are up there. Yes, open auditions have been held in Bristol for the new Star Wars film. Of course, the original Star Wars film was the story of a boy who didn't know who his real father was and fell in love with his sister. So Bristol was the perfect place. Sean's team.
Wow. I think everyone's just overjoyed about Prince Charles's birthday.
Yay!
And I'd like to do him a special birthday message.
Please do.
Happy birthday, sir. That's it.
Well, Prince Charles is 65. He's of retirement age now.
Jimmy, he looks older. He
Well, you
looks
can
older than
talk.
65. Well, no, he does. Seriously, I thought he was more.
He does look kind of... He looks like
older.
Yeah, he does look older.
John,
I'll give
what do
it.
you think?
I
looks
think the stress of waiting for your mother to die will do that to her face.
Jordan, what do you think of Prince Charles? He's 65. Have you met him?
I think I have.
You think you have? Some people have met him, some people haven't, but there's very few in your category of... I think I might have.
I feel like I could have met him because I've done some stuff in life that might have led me there. But every time I see pictures of him, he's got really fat fingers, like he's got really fat sausage fingers. And I think if I met him, I would have remembered the handshake.
Maybe he secretly goes to your gigs. You know how Princess Diana used to secretly go out and visit places? Maybe he secretly...
What, goes to Rizzle Kick shows?
Yeah.
That'd be cool, though.
Maybe,
Prince Harry, I saw Prince Harry.
Maybe he's out there in the crowd and then you notice his fat fingers in the crowd.
Camilla described Charles as difficult to buy for. John, what would you get Charles as a present?
I don't think I'll get him anything. There are people who are buying him gifts. Like, I imagine he'll get 100 hampers. People just send him reams of shit that he'll never even know exists. I get an email from Papa John's on my birthday. And even they don't offer me a free pizza, they might offer me a 1.25 litre Diet Coke. There'll be presents in his house now that he will not know exists. Some little old lady will have knitted him a little Prince Charles's knitwork face. And there'll be someone at home going, "Oh, Charles, all your gifts arrive," and he'll just go, "Burn them."
The thing for me about Prince Charles is the medals. It's the uniforms and the medals. Like, Harry and William actually did serve in the military, and Harry was in what they call a theatre of war. And Prince Charles, you think, how has he got the nerve to wear all those medals all the time? I mean, they're all on the balcony in a line, and he's there with his medals. Do you think the Queen ever just goes, "Have you got any shame, Charles?" He might as well just dress up as Buzz Lightyear. It means as much. It means as much. He just says, "I go to infinity and beyond." Well, the other thing that annoys me about them is the idea that they work. Apparently, Camilla said he's a workaholic.
Oh, yeah.
And you think, well, that's what really annoys me about the royals is, yes, you've got all this privilege, these castles, all this great deal of wealth, but don't rub our noses in it and say you work really hard as well. Because they don't. He hasn't got a sticker in the back of his limo saying "No tools left in the vehicle overnight."
I feel like if we didn't have a royal family, there's risk that half the world just won't care about us anymore. Do you not ever feel that?
Hey, we still got the Rizzle Kicks, relax.
I just think it gives us an identity. Like, you can associate us, everyone's like, "Oh, Britain, the Queen."
I know, but unfortunately it's an identity of a load of inbred wankers.
I can tell you it's not one of the most talked about things this week, but Prince Charles turns 65. At Charles's age, most people are thinking about putting their feet up and doing nothing, but he fancies a change. Figures on buzzers, 2 more things still to get. What do you think?
The price rises, electricity price rises.
Electricity, yeah.
They said another 17 years of continual price rises. I don't know why that'll stop, and eventually they're planning a war, then, or something.
I'm a bit worried because in 17 years' time I'm going to be in my early 40s. And I'm kind of quite worried about how I'll cope.
Well, do you try and keep your fuel bills down, Sean? What do you do?
Well, I've been on tour. Still dates and tickets available. So I haven't been at home a lot. Actually, you're asking me that question. Okay, everyone in my family's got a onesie now except me.
Why haven't you got a onesie?
I just can't choose an animal I feel comfortable in.
A bear! A bear! You're so clearly a bear!
Well, yeah,
you're a little bit grumpy sometimes, but adorable. You're a bear.
To be a bear. Another one says, "You be a very good tiger." My son says, "I want you to be a lion." And they don't do turtle. Crow. I'd like to be a crow. So I'm not happy with the options out there at the moment.
Have you got a onesie? Do you wear a onesie at home? Is that how you keep
Me?
Yeah.
Yeah. I've got like quite a collection of animal onesies, actually. Come on and look if you want. You can try some.
Nick, how do you keep your energy bills down?
I got my heating cut off one year.
It's a great way to do it.
Yeah. And by that, I mean the man that I used to cuddle at night moved out of our squat.
OK, let's have a look and see if it's up there. Well, there's one more thing to get, fingers on buzzers. What do you think?
The government have launched a scheme for new mothers where if they breastfeed for 6 months, they get given some shopping vouchers. Is that
brilliant scheme?
That's in the news, isn't it?
Yeah.
But how do we check? How do we know what they're doing?
How do we check?
Yeah.
Well, I'm happy to help.
Well, you know what I mean.
Finally, my
How do
Boob
we know?
Inspector T-shirt will have a purpose. Now, how could they check, Joe? What would they...
Well, they can't, can they? That's why it's ridiculous.
Well, surely if you breastfeed, you are producing milk, whereas if you don't breastfeed, you stop producing milk.
What, you think they could come along and have a squeeze and see if anything comes out?
The Boob Inspector.
You're welcome, ladies.
You could have like a special screen so they don't have to see him, and they just put their nipple through the screen. Jimmy stands on the other side.
I would suggest Sean's idea for a glory hole for boobs is a fine one. I'd like to put that forward. Would it be at a service station, Sean? Where would it be? Presumably a service station. I'm very comfortable with this arrangement. I'm fine with it.
I actually got told off in a restaurant for breastfeeding. Wasn't actually my child, but I just... you know...
When the mood takes you, why not?
Because I didn't understand about breastfeeding, because I've never been called upon to do it. It's incredible, isn't it? I found out this week that if the baby cries, the woman naturally lactates, which has taught me I'm not mature enough to have a child. Because if I knew that information, I would definitely wait until my wife had just had a shower and got dressed and then go...
Seeing as I'm the only one qualified, I feel, on this panel to speak about the vicissitudes of breastfeeding, I just want to tell you a little story. A friend of mine who was a midwife went round to visit a woman who's breastfeeding her 5-year-old. And she said to this woman, look, I think he's a little bit old to be breastfed. And this child took his face off his mother's bosom and went, fuck off. So brilliant.
Let's have a look and see if this breastfeeding story is up there. It is. Well, at the end of that round, Sean's team have 2 points, John's team have 3 points. So our next round is Pick of the Polls. John, Louis, Nick, pick a question.
Let's have the doctor.
OK. This week, it was claimed that 40% of A&E patients have nothing wrong with them. So we asked our studio audience, do you think you're a hypochondriac, yes or no?
Well, it's difficult to tell, isn't it? If you think you are, but you're waiting to be told, then are you or aren't you?
I'll tell you what, the test is actually the Whiteley Index for hypochondriacs, OK? So just answer this honestly, we'll see if you're a hypochondriac. Do you worry a lot about your health?
No. I've got bigger problems than that, Jimmy. Healthy and miserable. I'd rather be ill and happy.
Do you find that you're often aware of various things happening to your body?
Oh, yeah.
Do you think there's something seriously wrong with your body?
I think other people think there's something seriously wrong. I think women.
Particularly the front.
Yeah. It is. There's a sort of strange swelling at the front. I think I've got a big round...
Erection! We would have got there, mate. Don't panic. Appreciate you being part of the team and all, and...
I don't think they're going to spot this knob gag. Better help these guys out. There's a knob gag and they haven't seen it. This is what I call an emergency.
We're ruling out the possibility that it's the first one he's ever had and he wants everyone to know about it.
Erection!
Erection!
Are you a hypochondriac, Louis? Do you
No, not at all. I don't like hospitals, doctors. I never go to them. I don't even like the smell of hospitals.
You don't even like the smell of
Smell of the
hospitals?
hospital.
The rest of us
people
love
do.
it.
No! You know what I mean?
Enough of that. Oh, is that Dettol?
Can hypochondriacs be about anything, not just medical?
Go on, tell me, what are you thinking?
No. We were in RE once. We were given a virtual tour of heaven.
RE's changed, hasn't it?
It's like maybe like it was just to give an idea of what like a common depiction of heaven is. And then like this girl puts her hand up and she went, "I saw heaven once." "How do you know it was heaven?" "Well, one time I was sleeping and I saw heaven in my dream and I woke up and my sister said I died for 2 minutes." And then like I kind of paused and thought, firstly, your sister watches you sleep. And then when you die, she times you.
I've got a couple of hypochondriac stories here just to demonstrate what hypochondriacs are capable of. One man called for an ambulance as he had shortness of breath. When asked what he thought had caused it, he replied, "I'm being chased by the police." One woman asked for paramedics to come to her house and bring her washing in as the pathway was too icy for her to walk down. This is the worst one. Louis? One person called to say they couldn't get through to vote on X Factor, and he asked the 999 operator to call on his behalf. Nick, are you a hypochondriac?
No, I think I'm the opposite of a hypochondriac. What happened once was I was on my way to the pub with a group of my mates, and I really fancied this girl, and me and my mate decided to race each other to impress her, right? And I was losing, so I fell over, but I skidded for about 7 feet on gravel with my chin, right? And I got up, and I was really embarrassed. I was like, "Come on, let's just go to the pub. Let's just go to the pub." And everyone was like, "No, turn around and let's see." And I turned around and my face was literally hanging off like that. And I was just like, "Let's go to the pub. Let's go to the pub. This is embarrassing." That is the opposite of being a hypochondriac, isn't it? Because I would still rather go to the pub with half my face hanging off.
I'm curious that you were old enough to go to the pub and yet still thought a girl would be impressed by a race.
OK, let's get some answers on this. We asked our audience, do you think you're a hypochondriac, yes or no? What do you think?
No.
You think no? What are you going to go with, Sean?
I don't think most people are, really.
No, we'll say no.
OK. I can tell you it was close, but the answer is no. Only 47% of our audience think they're a hypochondriac. Sean's team, what do you like the look of?
David Dimbleby.
OK, this week, David Dimbleby got his first ever tattoo at the age of 75. So we asked our studio audience, should people grow old gracefully, yes or no?
No. I don't think they should. There's any obligation to do that. I always think it's amusing, you know, if you go to visit a castle or a stately home, especially in the week, the majority of the other visitors will be of a certain age, probably over about 65. Snowies, I call them. There'll be a busload of snowies will turn up.
Calm down, Louis. Calm down.
Come off. They'll all come off. And there's some weird thing that happens to British people when they've retired, they stop work. They go, you know what? I've worked hard all my life. I'm going to go out and buy myself a beige outfit. I'm going to go head to toe. I don't have to work. I don't have to worry about a boss anymore. I can dress how I want. I'm going to wear grey shoes with it. And it's that lack of sort of adventure that the old people have in this country. I think the fact someone's having a tattoo, I'd like them to wear sombreros, grass skirts, you know, coconut bras, just stuff. Just go out and enjoy yourself. Do what you want.
Joe, what do you think? Do you think people should grow old gracefully?
I think it was a few years ago, the poem that won the nation's favourite poem was that one by Jenny Joseph, "When I am old, I shall wear purple," you know, and you go... Crazy. Crazy, exactly. And I've decided that I'm going to be an alcoholic so that when I'm old, I'll be purple. I think it'd be rather nice.
Go down the Alex Ferguson route.
Yes, absolutely.
John, what do you think? I mean, you're kind of old before your time. Do you think people should grow old gracefully?
No, I don't. I don't think they should. I think, because the other, if you grow old gracefully, you just live forever, and that costs a fortune on the tax. So I think when you retire, you should get everything for free for 5 years, and then if you don't die of overdoses, you have to pay back. Who wants to live forever being boring? Well, me.
Louis, do you think you're going to grow older?
Older.
Gracefully.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, you think?
I don't feel I'm old, Jimmy.
Well,
I know
but
I
you're
am
in-
old, technically, but
Well, you're in the pop business.
Inside, I'm not. Inside, I feel really young.
I'm going to stay on the outside if that's OK, but... I super appreciate the offer and everything, but... So you're in the pop business, so that keeps you young anyway, doesn't it? Because
I think so,
you're surrounded by young
I
people.
like what I do, yeah.
Do you think, is there ever an age where you won't have a view anymore? You'll go, oh, I'm too old to have an opinion on...
I don't know. I really don't know, Jimmy. What do you think?
I think you've no idea now, but I mean... OK, let's get some answers on this. So we asked our studio audience, should people grow old gracefully, yes or no? What do you think, Sean?
No.
No, they shouldn't.
No.
John?
No, I don't think people should grow old gracefully.
Well, I can tell you the answer is no. Only 43% of our audience think you should grow old gracefully. I'm definitely going to try and grow old gracefully, and by that I mean in 10 years I'm hoping to be wearing Lycra on Strictly rather than eating kangaroo anus on I'm a Celebrity. And the winner is the name of our final round. Here's your question. Best way to impress your friends? What do you think?
Is it racing to the pub?
No, it hasn't been racing anywhere since we were 7 years of age.
Because you could have a nasty accident, couldn't you, Jimmy?
Yes, you could.
I don't know if you remember, but that happened to me.
Magic.
Can you do any magic? Can you?
No, I can't, but I think if I could, my friends would be impressed.
I don't really get magic, because you know they're going to do it, so it just pisses you off, doesn't it? I can get that ball underneath that cup. You go, I bet you can. So just do it and then shut up.
The way I like to impress my friends is this. No, because I've got trousers and the fly opens up that way. It opens up from the bottom.
Can you not do that ever again?
Yeah, because most flies open down, mine open up.
Yeah.
So, because I've got an Australian tailor.
I think it's be yourself.
God, no. Have you met you?
Titty waggles.
Now another titty waggle there, please. Just
Will you be my friend?
Yeah, I want to be a friend. That's a pretty impressive titty waggle.
The best way to impress your friends, and is what I do, is I show them my hole.
Could you? I mean, that's a pretty full answer.
I mean, oh, I see. Oh God. I see how you could.
No, I don't. Just.
I've been digging this hole for a long time. I've after the last 3 years, I do 2 hours every day digging this hole in the back garden, and it's so deep. And I always say, "Come and have a look at my hole." Is it that, Jimmy?
That's number 3. Joe, how do you impress your friends?
I impress my friends by getting up from a chair without any help.
How much? Because I've noticed the thing where how much noise do you make when you get up from a chair these days? Is quite.
Well, if I don't make any noise as well, I get extra points.
Yeah, that's always the impressive thing.
Also, extra points if I don't wet myself. It's quite complicated, actually.
There's a lot going on. There's a whole
there
point
is a lot
system.
going on.
And is this going to be a rule at the end of this show? Because at the
What,
moment
get
I'm in the lead. If you're going to get 2 extra points for not soiling yourself when you get out of the chair.
Actually, I've done a little poo already.
Best way to impress your friends?
Is it act stupid?
It's not acting stupid, no. It's, well, I suppose that's the one way you could do this.
Being funny.
That is the right answer. Yes, the best way to impress your friends is to make them laugh. It's a shame for John because he's really funny, but he hasn't got any friends. Well, that sound tells me it's the end of the round and the end of the show, which means the final scores are Sean, Jordan and Joe have 4 points. John, Louis and Nick are the winners with 6 points. Thanks to all our panellists. panellists, our wonderful studio audience, and to all of you for watching at home, that's it from us. Good night.